what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes and all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case, but that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yo, get up out of bounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Feel like I'm dead from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you ride. And I was Suwu from the Fruittown crew. Pop still shooters every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yeah. To all them children, they grow up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real and she left for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leaving. Yeah, yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Test 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though
Test. Test. 1, 2. Most High in Christ. Like Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah, all my brothers. Yahweh Shema Thabah Shem Yahweh Shah, all my sisters. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out here in Durham, North Carolina. Preaching officer of 500 1, holding down a Sabbath service. With my brother, you can step up, Yanazar. My brother, officer of 50 Yanazar. All right. So we're going to get right into it. You know what I mean? We're going to begin the Sabbath service. So, Yanazar, if you could, Baba Kushah. Most High in Christ. Count. Now. All right. So with that, I majim, which means to stand. Wapunya aquadum, which means turn and face the east. The water. We're gonna start out with the Lord's Prayer. We're gonna start it in the Hebrew. You can get that mic, Yanazar. Can I just turn it on?
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Saba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawathwanawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathwanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ayanawa, Manasaya 1, Abol, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wa'ala, Salakia, Wahatha Parith, La'awalumium, Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us.
From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. The prayer for power, Hakak, in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hawashai, Baba Kashah, Nathanawa, Hakak, La Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Ha Matazarium, Ha Matazarium, Hakak, Lahaquium, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rakawawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarishan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Tawada Amun.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabaya. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranyam. Ha Katazazoyan. Ha Kayayoyum. Wa Ha Aquatian. Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. Tawada Amun.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Ahaharium. Mahayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Regolka. Al Yanawam. Shemarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tizolka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Hashemash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayallah. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Malkarai. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Wababa'atka. Ma'atha. Wa'ait Iwalam.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
Unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my
My
help?
help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
To be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth
will
thee.
not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
By day,
nor the moon by night,
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Dami Al-Akah, Al-Fakarash, Wa-Al, Fashakwat, Al, Kayahana, Awabiyaka, Yahama Yawun, Ra'ash, Almaka, Al-Imaka, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Tazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidum, Magolwa, Wala Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Na Aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Barayath, Yakarathwa, Aholwa, Alawam, Wa Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabol, Wa Amawan, Wa Imalak, Palashath, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakol, Koyashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Dara, Wakaza Abba, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakaza Tazol, Mana'ai, Kal Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Nayawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Sayathumwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rawaka, Kaash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wakalaba, Falahat, Harayum, Khan, Faradatma, Basairaka, Wabasa Wapath. Okay, Salaki. Wabasa, Wapathka, Fabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Kalawan, Wayabashwa, Wayabakwashwa, Salakia, Shemka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabaholwa, Aid, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kayatha, Shemka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawun, Al Kalharatazar.
In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against.
Thy
hidden ones.
Thy hidden ones.
They have said. Come. And let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation. That the name of Israel.
May
be no more remembrance.
May be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
With
one consent. They are confederate against thee.
The
tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur. Also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like Oreb. And like Zeeb. Yea. All their princes. As Sabath. And as Zalmunna. Who said. Let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth.
Sorry. We need to turn up here.
Most High in Christ. All right, so we don't have another priest right here to do the reading for us today. No sweat. Me and his brother are going to go ahead and just go ahead with it. So last week we ended off at Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 26. Okay. So today we'll be picking it up at Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 27. Okay. So brother, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and just, so again, if you want to follow along, you want to get your phones, you know what I'm saying, and go to blueletterbible.org. Okay. blueletterbible.org. And when you type in the chapter and the verse, it'll come up. And you just press next to it, you press a little tab that says tools. Okay. When you press that, the Hebrew will pop up and then you can follow along in the Hebrew. Okay. No sweat. So let me know when you got it out.
I got it.
Go ahead and you want to just use that mic?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 27 in Hebrew. Wakashab, Ath, Shanya, Mama Karawa, Waha Shayab Ath. Ha'idap La'ayash Ashar. Makar Lawa Washab La'akazathwa. Verse 28. Wa'am La'a Matasa'a Yadawa Daya Hashayab Lawa Wahaya Mamakarawa Bayad Hakwana Athwa Aid Shanath Hayawakol. No, Salakia. Hayawabol. Wayataza'a. Wayataza'a. Bayabol. Washab. La'ahaza. Verse 28, sir. La'a kazathwa. Kazathwa. That was the last word. Verse 29. Waya Ayash Kaya Yamakar Bayath Mama Shab Ayar Kawama Wahayath Salakia Wahayafa Wahayafa Gahalathwa Aid Thumb Shanath Mama Karawa Makarwa. So what other one? Mama Karwa. Mama Karwa. Okay, I gotta get that. Yamayum Fahaya Ga'alathwa. Ga'alathwa. In verse 30, Wa'am La'a Yaga'al or Yaga'al Khan, that's it. Aid Mala'ath Lawa Shana Famay Yama Wakwam Habayath Ashar Ba'ayar Ashar La'a Kama Latazamayam Faf. How you say that? La the word, the first word of the last sentence. La Tazamayaf. La Tazamayaf. La Tazamayaf. Okay. La Tazamayaf. Come to what out of one. La Kwana. Kana one kan. La Kwana. Athwa. La Dara Fayawa. La Darathiawa. La A. Yataza A. By a ball. Verse 31. Wabathia. Hakadazarayim. 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 The second word. Hakazatarium. Hakatazorium. Hakatazorium. Ashar. Hakatazarium. Hakatazarium. Ashar. The water. Ayun. Lahum. Kama. Sabayab. Al. Shada. Ha'arataza. Yakashab. Ga'ala. Fahaya. Lawa. Wabaya bol. Yataza. Verse 32. Wa Iria. Halawayum. Bathia. Araya. Akazathum. Ka'alath. Iwalum. Fahaya. Lalawayum. Lalawayum. Is that correct? Lalawayum. What? And verse 33. This is the last one. Well, Ashar. Yaga al. Mun. Halawayum. Wayataza'a. Mama Kar. Bayath. Wa Ayar. Akazathwa.
Is this you had a question? Yeah, but I was trying to wait till he was done. Oh, so it was a Hebrew question or a question about the English? About the.
Go ahead, sis. Ask your question.
Okay, well, I think it's gonna break it down when we get to the English. Come on.
Okay. By a ball. Kaya. Bathia. Araya. Halawayum. Hawa'a. Aszathum. Bathawaka. Banya Yasha Allah. In English, the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 27, Salakia. Then let him count the years of the sale thereof and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be, Salakia, verse 28, but if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the year of Jubilee. Can we get a breakdown on that? Read that part again. It really starts in 27. Mm-hmm.
We kind of went over it last week, right?
Yeah.
So the year of Jubilee, if I'm not mistaken, was a count, I think it was the 50th year. So they would count 7. It would be 7 years, right? And then 7 sets of 7. Then in the 50th year, the year of Jubilee would be the time when all debts were erased. Okay, so if you owed somebody or if anything like that, everything was completely eradicated. So it was like a restart. Okay, so that's what the year of Jubilee. Now I'm a little, don't quote me. I'm not sure if the Jubilee is that 50th year or if it's the one that happens every 7. That's what I think it might be every 7, right? And then the 50th year is something where the Jubilee falls on the Day of Atonement, and it's something to that as well. But I got to get clarification on that. But I think Jubilee would be every 7. Go ahead.
That's when we have to give the land a rest.
I think that might be what that part is.
Might be that.
Yeah, I'll get clarification on that. But the Jubilee is a year when all debts are eradicated.
If I may, sir.
Please.
If I may, when he says the overplus and restore the overplus in verse 27, I think we went over that too. That's like, okay, if you sell something to somebody and it appreciates in value, then you have to give him that.
Let's see. Right, you talking about verse 27, right?
Yeah, Khan al Khan.
So let's see where we at. Salakia. Bear with me. Right.
And restore the overplus unto the man
above.
he sold.
What is over and above. So yeah, so the overplus, it just means like the excess or the surplus of something. You know what I'm saying? So the extra. So like you said, if you have something that gains in value or there's more of it than there was before, you know what I mean? Now the person has to account for that. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you give me a car at 10,000, let's say it's some kind of classic vehicle, next thing you know, the joint is worth $30,000. You know what I mean? You can't rob me and just take it for 10,000 again. You know what I'm saying? After, because now it's worth more than it was before. So you got to pay what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? The difference, Con. So go ahead.
Verse 28. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that brought it until the year of Jubilee. And in Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession.
So like the Jubilee is the 50th year. Con. We read it back last week in Leviticus chapter 25 and 10, where it says, ye shall hallow the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a Jubilee unto you. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, brother.
Verse 29. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it with a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. Does that mean he can buy it back?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Con. Verse 30. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Redeem. Right.
You do everything is fair in Israel. So no, you can't just come back. You sold it and now you're just gonna take it back. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that can't go there.
Most High in Christ. Verse 30. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it.
This breaks it down. Go ahead, keep on, keep reading, finish it. Finish verse 30.
That bought it throughout his generations, it shall not go out in the Jubilee.
Meaning in the Jubilee, now the person who sold it can't claim it. You know what I'm saying? The Jubilee is a year where if everything that a person owns or whatever is returned unto them, even their freedom, right? If they had to work for somebody or if they owed somebody, that's why it says it's the year where, you know, everything's free now. Like you get everything back. But what this is saying is that if a house is sold, you only have a year to redeem it.
To buy it back.
To buy it back to where it's yours. You understand? So now you can't come back in the year of Jubilee talking about, well, that's my house, so I want it back. It's like, no. Now that brother that bought it, that's his house for his generations. Because remember back then, we're talking about inheritance. If somebody bought a house, you know what I mean? That house could be his children's children's children, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So it's trying to keep that order. All right, but go ahead.
Verse 31. But the houses of the villages which have no wall around them shall be counted as the field of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Verse 32. Notwithstanding, the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession may the Levites redeem at any time.
The priests didn't have inheritance like the rest of us. They didn't have land like the rest of us. You know what I mean? They had to do the work of the Lord. That was their only job. You know what I mean? So they had some, you know, special, you could say, provisions made for them. But go ahead, brother.
Verse 33. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession, that Salakia shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the city of the Levites are their possessions among the children of Israel. Right. Like that's all they got.
I was about to say that. That's all they got.
It's that house. You can't take their house.
They not farmers. You know what I'm saying? They don't got another means to conduct business, to get homes and things like that. They gotta have what they have, and that's what it is. But go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 34 in the Hebrew. Washadah, Magarash, Ariahum, La'ah, Yamakar, Kaya, Akazath, Iwalum, Hawa'ah. That's that word. We did that word last night, right? That's Hawa. Lahum. Verse 35. Wakaya, Yamawak, Akayak. That's his brother. Your brother.
Which verse
Akayak.
you in? Which verse?
Verse 35, the third word. Akayak.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Akyaka. That's your brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Akyaka.
Right. Yeah, Akyaka. Wamata. Yadawa. I'm a ka. Waha Kazakwath. Bawa. Gar. Watha Washab. Wakaya. Imak. Verse 36. Al Thakwak. Mah Athwa. Nashak or Nashaka. Wathar Rabiath. Wayara'ath. Ma'ala Hayaka. Ma'ala Hayaka. Wakaya. Akiaka. Imak. Verse 37. Ath. Kasapak. La'a. Fathun. Lawa. Banashak. Wama Waba
That's
Marabiath.
Salaki, 1 second. Hold up. Kana, you correct. It is Banashak. Go ahead.
Waba Marabiath. La'a. The thun.
You keep the mic in front of you now. Pause.
Okay, Salakia.
Because like I said, they cannot hear you. If you talk to the side of it or whatever, they won't be able to hear you.
Most correct.
Can.
La'a. The thun. Akalak. Verse 38. Anya Yahweh. Alahayakam. Ashar. Hawataza Athwa. Athia. Athakam. Ma'arataza. Matazarium. Lathath. Lakam. Ath. Arataza. Kana'ain. Lahaya Wath. Lakam. La'a. Salakia. La Alahayakam.
Which verse you in?
Salakia. This is verse 38. La Alahayam. Alahayam. La Alahayam. That's the last
one. Yeah, that's correct.
Not one. Verse 39. Wakaya. Yamawak. Akiaka. I'm a ka. When I'm a car. Laka. La'a. Tha'aibar. From Salakia. Tha'aibad. Bawa. Ibadath. Ibadad.
Ibad. Servant.
Salakia. Verse 40. Kayar. Kathawashab. Yahaya. Imaka. Aid. Shanath. Hayabal. Ya'ibad. Imaka.
Imaka.
Right. Imaka. The water.
Okay. I'll pick it back up in the English if you could, Baba Kusha.
Okay. It's 34, right?
Yeah.
The book of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 34. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. That way we keep our land and nobody buys us out of our own
That's
land.
still talking about the Levites.
Excuse me?
That's still talking about the Levites.
Still talking about the Levites?
Con.
Okay. Verse 35.
It's like it says.
So the Levites' inheritance was different than the rest of Israel.
Con. The rest of Israel, all the other tribes had land. They all had like land that was sectioned off to each of them. They talk about it later on in the scriptures, how much was allotted for each tribe based on how many brothers they had, sisters they had, so on and so forth. The Levites did not have a land. You know what I'm saying? The Levites, like I said, their entire, everything they, like what we do in here, that was their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we in here and then we got to go to the slave. No, Levites, this was their slave. And the rest of us couldn't do this job. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I always bring out, in North Carolina, there's not one brother in North Carolina that back in those days would be able to commission to do this, because none of us are Levites. You know what I'm saying? The only one I can think, I think Nakamaya in DC is a Levite. I know there's got to be some Levites in Florida, but only Levites did this. Guys, this.
So everybody else would basically kind of like take care of the Levites.
Essentially, which is what was
They lived, if I may,
please.
sir, they were paid out of the tithe.
That's what I was gonna.
That's
I was
how
gonna.
that
I was gonna try to give this a chance to say, but Khan. So that's what tithing was for, because they couldn't work, they couldn't farm, they couldn't do. The rest of us could do that. So we had to give that 10th, so that way they could eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, this chapter is kind of going into that aspect to some degree. So go ahead and read on, brother.
Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him.
Right, now these are laws, statutes and commandments. These are the same laws the Christian church says you can't keep. The law that tells you that if your brother's waxing poor, if you can help him, help him. You know what I'm saying? Why do they, now you want to know why the Christian pastor says the law is done away with? Because when you're waxing poor, which is what you are, he doesn't want to have to take care of it. He wants to be able to close the door, you know what I'm saying? Get on his private jet that seats 6 people, you know what I'm saying, and go on about his life. Right? Read on.
Yeah, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Now, what does it mean when it says a stranger or a sojourner?
If I may. Go ahead,
Yes,
sis.
Someone he don't know, like say if I don't know y'all, and y'all need somewhere to live or whatever, would you be a stranger to me?
Yes, I would be. Con. Now, what if I was a white man? And I mean, you don't know me though. You don't know me. You never met me before in your life. So would I then be a stranger and a sojourner that you let in your house and you feed me delicious meals? I'm a stranger. You never met me before. No, that's not what it's talking about. A stranger and a sojourner is, again, it's a brother from some other part, some other place. You know what I'm saying? It's some brother that, you know, he from, you know, some other area, and he's happens to be where you are. He don't got a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? He's waxing poor. You know what I mean? We know about that. Like when I first moved down here, I was a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know the culture. I still really don't know. Like I don't know these roads in North Carolina. Like, you know, I know Sadak know the same thing. Yanazar know the same thing. We both from New York. He from Chicago. Like, what the hell is this? Every street has like noose in it. You know what I'm saying? Every street has like, it's like everything is something court or something. You know, it's like all kind of different things you're not used to because you're not from a certain area. So this stranger just means somebody from he's an Israelite or she's an Israelite, but she's just not from where you're from. You know what I'm saying? So you're taking care of her. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 36.
Plantation, that's what it is. Down here, every damn apartment complex is something plantation. What's that about? You know what I'm saying? That's weird. But go ahead, bro.
Thou art slave.
Right. Read on.
Verse 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase.
Right. Read on.
Upon usury, Salakia, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with.
What does that mean? Go ahead, Yanazar.
Treat your brother right. Be righteous with your brother. Don't overcharge him. Don't raise his rent. You know, like that.
You on it, and you correct, but give me a certain word. There's a word that describes it. Come, but there's a word that describes when it says usury. What is that talking about?
Oh, that's interest.
Right.
Don't
you cannot charge interest. That is a and guess what? You know what's funny? Fake Jews, the so-called Jewish man, he follows this with his own people. You understand? He's charging you interest, but when it comes to dealing with what he believes is fellow Jews, they don't charge each other interest. You know what I'm saying? They don't. That's why they own up everything everywhere they go. You understand? Shalom, I don't want you to get that. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 38. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your power.
Right. Read on.
Verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold to thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant. If I may,
Yeah, please.
When a time be sold, that means you're buying their labor. You're not buying their person.
Right.
You're buying their labor. That's what it means.
Damn right. No, you talk.
Most High Christ. And that's a misconception that they have, that we bought and sold each other, and that's not true. You understand? Because there's a law that says if you stealeth a man and selleth him, you're to be put to death. So I just wanted to make it clear to everybody that we never sold any of our brothers.
Right.
Understand? We bought their labor, or they sold us their labor. That's what this is about.
Right.
Most High Christ. And if thy brother that dwelleth with thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant. He's not your slave.
Read on.
Verse 40. But as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
That's what we read before about that year when everybody gets free. Salaki, so you taking? Okay. I thought maybe you had something in the car or something. Salaki, sir. Come on, sir. So that was in the verse 40, correct?
Yeah.
And you serve unto. Okay. So now, I'm actually going to go to the Hebrew now. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 41. I'm going to go ahead and read it again. If you want to follow along, go to blueletterbible.org. You know what I'm saying? And click tools right next to the chapter and the verse. The book of Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 41. Wayataza'ah ma'aimaka hawa'ah waba sakya wabanyawa washa mashapaktawa wa sakya wa Allah akazath abathiwa yashawab. Verse 42. Kaya ibadia ashar hawataza athya atham ma'arataza matazarium la'ah yamakarwa mamakarath ibad. Verse 43. La'ah darada bawa sakya bapar. Let me see that parak khan ba parak wayra'ath ma alahayaka khan ma alahayaka. Verse 44. Wa ibadka wa amathka ashar yahayawa laka ma'ath hagawayam ashar salakya sabaya bathyakam mahum thaknawa ibad wa ama. Verse 45. Wa gum mabunya hathawashabium hagaryum imakum mahum thaknawa. It's like a thakwanawa wa mashapak wa mashapakthum ashar imakum ashar. It's like you make sure this word is correct. No, hold up. Hawa layadya. I'm gonna make sure that that's your lie. Hawa layadya. Ba'aratazakum wahayawa lakum la'akaza. Verse 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got one more. The book of Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 46. Waha tanakalathum athum labunyakum akaryakum larashath Akazah, La'ilum, Bahum, Ta'ibadwa, Waba'akyakum, Banya Yasha'ala, Ayash, Ba'akywa, La'a, Farada, Bawa, Baparak. Verse 47. Wakaya, Tashayag, Yad, Gar, Wathawashab, Wak, Akyaka, Imawak, Kar, it's like Wanamakar, Lagar, Tawashab, Awa, Laikwar, Mashapakath, Gar. That's the end of verse 47. Pick it up in English, Janzo, if you could.
Correct. The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 41, in the English. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own land, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. Verse 42, for they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Verse 43, thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy power. You know, you can't be a tyrant over your brother, you know, if they working for you, you know. Okay. Verse 44, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondsmen and bondsmaids.
Like the brother, please.
I was just going to say something. So basically, the people that we're supposed to be buying for hired,
Not a hired servant, but a bondmaid. So a slave.
right.
A heathen could be a slave.
Yeah, we can own
You know
it.
what I'm saying? You can own a heathen, right? There's rules with that too, but at this time you can own a heathen. You cannot own an Israelite. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Most High Christ. Verse 45. Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession.
You know?
Verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you. That reminds me of something, if I may, sir.
Please.
When Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson was fighting, when he was in his prime, he found out, this is the reason why he broke with his management, that his manager, which was a Jewish person, had left him as an inheritance to his wife when he died.
Wow.
So this is what they used. Yeah, that's how Don King was able to get Mike Tyson away from the white folks.
Wow.
Because they found out that Mike Tyson was part of his inheritance. Like if he died, his wife would inherit his portion of Mike Tyson. That's a fact. Look at
that's crazy.
But that's what they use. They use this. Verse 46, and ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession, that they shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel.
Right. So you see now the stranger, Shalom. Now you got a different stranger involved. This stranger is talking about somebody that's not of Israel. Okay. Because it tells you, but of your brethren you shall not buy them. Go ahead.
Ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Verse 47. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family.
That's the end of verse 47 in the English. Pick it up verse 48 in the Hebrew, and then we'll get good part out up here for the
Most High Christ.
You know it's like it. GP, you ready to read? Okay, Most High in Christ. So just up here, Imadium. You can actually go ahead and hit the horn if you could, Baba Kusha. As the first reader.
You gotta begin.
Most High in Christ. That's the one. That's no slate. What's up, brother?
Kaparia, Banya Howard, Banya Shalom.
Kaparia, Banya Howard, Banya Sha'ala.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
How about Shimei Shabbos?
Done. This is going to fix it right now. You got to get him
Yeah,
shit.
take this chair. I'll get another chair.
Most High in Christ.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. Most High in Christ. No, you too out. What? All right. Shab, just appear, be seated. See, now this is the first priest who was reading, so you know what I'm saying he had to get the wine. But right now we're back in Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 48. You want to get the Hebrew or go? No, I'll just go ahead and just knock it out real fast if I could, Baba Kusha. All right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, and verse 48. Akaria, Namakar, Ga'ala, Dahaya, Lawa, Akkad, Ma'akiwa, Yaga, Saki, Yaga all Nawa, verse 49. Awa, Darawa, Awa, Bun, Darawa, Yaga all Nawa, Awa, Ma'ashar, Basharwa, Mama Shapakthwa, Yagal Nawa, Salakia, Awa, Hashayaga, Yarawa, Wanagaol, verse 50. Wakashab, Im, Kwanawa, Mashanath, Hamakarwa, Lawa, Id, Shanath, Hayabol, Wahaya, Kasap, Mamakarwa, Bamasapar, Shanyum, Kayumya, Shakayar, Yahaya, Imoa, verse 51. Iwada, Rabawath, Bashanyum, Lapayahun, Yashayab, Ga'alathwa, Makasap, Makwanathwa, verse 52. Wa'am, Ma'ita, Nasha'ar, Bashanyum, Slakia, Id, Shanath, Hayabol, Wakashab, Lawa, Kapaya, Shanyua, Yashayab, Ath, Ga'alathwa. Salakia, what I start at? 48, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I just read 53. No, I just read 52. Verse 53. Kashakayar, Shana, Bashana, Yahaya, Imawa, La'ah, Yaradnawa, Baparak, La Ayunyaka, verse 54. Wa'am, La'ah, Yagaol, Ba'allah, Wayataza'ah, Bashanath, Hayabol, Hawa'ah, Wabunyawa, Imawa. That's the end of verse 54. Pick it up back in the English in verse
Oh, this was for me.
you can use that one. It's up to you.
Okay, no. The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 48. After that, he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Verse 4.
Please.
That means like if your brother's working for another nation or a stranger, you can buy your brother out from under that.
Of course. That's why you get the phrase. That's where you Slack, if I may. That's why a lot of times when it comes to slavery, the scripture that says that to redeem, right? So that's talking.
Verse 49. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family, may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. Verse 50. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the of Jubilee, like it. Price of his sale shall be according unto the years.
So it's clear here that these brothers are being paid for their labor. They're being paid.
Verse 51. Yet many years behind, according unto them. It's like it.
They may not be being paid. I wouldn't say paid. You understand? Because a bond servant is not really, his payment is, it's like you paying off something. You know, imagine $100,000 and you say, well, instead of paying you work for me, you're gonna pay me while I owe you still. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
I wouldn't say they. It just means he's going to be however much he's cost is going to be calculated by how long he's been a servant. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like if you have served for 5 years, I get a raise. You work there for 10 years, you might get more money. You know what I'm saying? Your price changes over time and is be calculated based on how long he's been serving. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 51. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his out of the money that he was bought for. Verse 52. And if there remain but unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give in the price of his redemption. Verse 53. A yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule over him in thy sight. Verse 54. He not redeem in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him.
Right. Yet again, that year of Jubilee, when everything is set free, everything is restarted. You know what I'm saying? That's how we deal with our people. And right now it's talking about us redeeming someone who might be a bond servant under a heathen. The year of Jubilee, they got to, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Verse 55.
Now you could drop that get it back to the heat. So you want to pick it up or you want to give it a shot, GP? It's up to you, bro.
You want to take it?
You go ahead, Yanazo. No, that one don't got batteries in it. Pass him that one, the water.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 55 in the Hebrew. Kaya, la Banya Yasha Allah, Abadium, Abadya, hum, ashar. Hawataza athia, our thumb. Ma'aratazar, Matazarium, Anya Yasha Allah, Alahayakam. We got to go to the next chapter. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1 in the Hebrew. La'ah, fa'aishawa, lakam, aliyalum, wapasol, wamatazabak, wamatazabah, salaki. La'ah, Thakwa Yamawa Lakam Wa Akan Shakayath Fathanawa Rata Ba'arata Zakam Salakia Lahashathia Kawath the Kawath Aliyawa Aliyah Ya Anya Yahweh Alahayakam. Verse 2. Ath Shabbathathia Basha Marwa Wamakadashia Hayara Awa Yahweh. That was verse 2. I'm going to verse 3 right now. Verse 3. Bakathia. No, Bakathia.
In verse 2?
Yeah, I read verse 2.
Yeah, but what is the end?
Salaki, let me go back. Oh, Salaki. It says, Anya Yahweh.
No, I just want to point it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if y'all tuned in, but yesterday we did the Lashon Kodash class. So, yesterday, that's exactly what we were going over. The use of the first person pronoun, Anya. Okay. And so, it's being used right here in this verse. Okay. You see, so I'm saying Anya Yahweh just means I am the Most High. I am Yahweh. All right. Go ahead, bro. You can go back to verse 3.
Khan. Verse 3. Kakwathia. Falakawa. La'ath. Matazawathia. Hashamarwa. Wa Aishayathium. Athum. Verse 4. Wanathathia. Gashamayakam. Ba'athum. Wanathana. Ha'arataza. Yabawala. Wa Aitaza. Hashada. Yathun. Pariyawa. Verse 5. Wahash Shayag Lakam Dayash Ath Batazayar Wabatazayar Yashayag Ath Zarai Wa Akalahum Wa Akalathum Lakama Lakum. Lakamakum. Lakamakum. Yeah, Lakamakum. The third line, the beginning of the third line. Lakamakum. Say again. Lakumkum. Lakakum. Shabai. Waya Shabatham. Labatak. Labatak. Ba'aratazakum. 6. This is the last one. Khan. Out of one. Khan out of one. Khan. Wanadathia. Shalom.
What?
Shalom. But I don't see why. So the Y is silent?
The Y is
Just interjected
right. It's there because they want you
to say it.
that case. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. That Y that you're seeing there, right, is there because they want you to say shalom.
Okay, got it.
Right? But of course, we know that's not correct. That is not in the original, so that's not the original word. It's shalom, right? So, and then of course, fake Israelites, they know it's not shalom, but then they look at that and they say, oh, well, I see a Y, so it must be shalom, which is also incorrect. The original word is shalom. Hence the word Yerushalayim, as in Jerusalem. Hence the name Shalamah, as in Solomon. It's shalom. You know what I'm saying? So it's an honest mistake, but I just beware of that. You know what I mean? You see that? And I know it on the page, it looks like shalom, but you got to catch yourself. When you see that shalom, it's like shalom. And go ahead.
I got it out of
No
the
sweat.
water.
You too are.
Most High in Christ. Shalom. Ba'aratazar. Washakabatham. Washakabatham. Wa'ayan. Makaraika. Wahashabathia. Kaya. Ra'ai. Man. Ha'aratazar. Wakarab. La'ah. Tha'aibar. Ba'aratazakum. Now we got to go back. Right, chapter. We're going to start at verse 55. The book. You got it?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord, your God. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
Right. So right now is going to go into really worshiping other gods. It's going to break it down, what it means. Go ahead.
To bow down unto it.
To bow down unto it. That's the crucial, important part. That's what makes something a graven image. So if you hear somebody saying, oh, graven image, it's only a graven image if it's something that is meant to be worshipped or bowed down to. For example, the Christian cross. They don't just wear it around their neck. You know what I'm saying? They actually look at that thing like some kind of holy entity. You know what I'm saying? Like, or that Christian church or any of those relics that they use. What's that thing in Islam, the Kaaba stone?
Yeah.
That Kaaba stone that they be knocking their head against. Like those things, they worship them. They bow down to them. You know what I mean? A graven image isn't just a statue or just a picture or an engraving. Because again, brothers, that was their job. They were brothers back then who were engravers for a living. So it's not just something that you have engraved or made or sculpted. It's something that you sculpted with the purpose of people worshiping, like the golden calf. Okay? Go ahead, brother. Please.
One last thing. Now, could a graven image also be what's in your mind as well? Like, if you thinking like that false image of Christ. Well, I guess that was
a graven image can end up being in your mind, but a graven image is, I guess you in a way you're right, because like it's in your when you sit down, when your mother and your grandmother sit there worshiping white Jesus, that's in her head. And as soon as you think anything different outside of Caesar Borgia, you know what I mean, she ready to kick you out the house. You know what I'm saying? She looked down on you because you don't worship white Jesus. So that's right. That's my Jesus. Didn't Florida Evans get mad at Michael because he had the black Jesus?
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there you go. You know what I mean? So yeah, graven images. You don't bow down to none of that stuff. A stone or a rock, whatever the hell it is. Go ahead, brother.
To bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God. Verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord.
Right. So these are things that we have to do. Good, sis, please. Reverence my sanctuary. So think of a sanctuary as like, okay, this building or this room is, you could say, the Lord's house. It ain't because it's a building. It has nothing to do with that. The Lord isn't here. Why? Because we're in here. Most of all, you're correct. We're in here doing what? Literally, this scripture we just read, who's doing that right now? In here, in this room. Torah scroll. The chauffeur, you know what I'm saying, the priest up here, you know what I'm saying, the shamar, the sisters who have brought food, and Tawada, again, get a sister a hand for bringing food for the Akim, Tawada for that. Also Tawada, the Captain Nithox Rib, for making the bread for us, Tawada, the showbread, right? But we are keeping the Lord's Sabbaths, therefore we are reverencing his sanctuary. We're like reverencing his household. You know what I mean? So that's what it means by reverence my sanctuary. It's not necessarily a building. It just means that we're keeping what he wanted us to keep. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Go ahead, bro. Does that answer your question? Okay. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Verse 5, and your threshings shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. Verse 6, and I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. Verse 7, and ye shall chase your enemies.
I just want to say something. These scriptures here I love because, like, the Most High is telling us, man, this is what the whole covenant is about, man. If we do these laws, statutes, and commandments, our land will give forth us fruit. We will be protected. No nation is going to come into our land and cause you to sleep good at night. You know, all of these things were promised to us, man. That's what make our culture so wonderful. We're the only people that God gave a culture to, a heritage to. You understand?
And like the brother said, notice that everything that we were supposed to be given is the exact thing that we're without now. You know what I mean? You can just look at on the counter on the other side. He's saying he's gonna give us rain and food and bread, and we'll have our own land and we'll be safe. And now there's nobody less safe than a black woman, a black man, Hispanic woman, so on and so forth. Right? We don't grow our own anything. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Issachar brothers and sisters, nobody does more farming than them. Nobody picks more oranges or more fruits of any kind than our Issachar brothers. But who's making the money off it? You know what I'm saying? Who owns who owns Tropicana and all the different juice companies and fruit companies? And it's I know in New York where I'm from, this brother can attest too. Where I'm from, especially in Queens, the fruit stands, you don't never see a Hispanic brother, Issachar brother owning a fruit stand. They're all owned by Asians. All of them. Right. You understand? But Asians ain't the ones picking none of them fruits, harvesting none of that stuff. You understand? So that's what it's saying. We were supposed to get these things. And we're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So you just ended at verse 6, right? Okay, Giannis, if you could, Bible Kashah, give me verse Leviticus 26:7 in the Hebrew.
Khan. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 7 in the Hebrew. While the patham, ath, ayabaya, come. Wanapalwa, la panya come, la karab. Verse 8. Wa radapawa, makam, kamasha, ma'ah, wama'ah, makam, wababa, yara da power, wana palawa, ayabaya come, la panya come, la karab. Verse 9. Wapanya fire, wapanya fire, aliyakam, wahaparayathia, athakam, no, salakia, yeah, athakam, waharabia fire, athakam. Verse 9, sir. Waha Koryamathia Ath Barayathia Khan Athakam. Verse 10. Wa'akalatham Yashun. Now Washun. Wayashun. Mapanya Kadash. So what taza ya awa. Verse 11. Wanafathia Mashakanya Bakawakakam Wala Thagaal or Thagaila Napasha Akakam.
Please.
So, but I think these type of blessings, it's a spiritual change within us, the nation of people that has to occur. Like, like in verse 9, it's like, for I will have respect unto you. Like he will make us respectable people. Because right now, he is the nation not respectable people. And we're not walking in the right spirit. So that's
let me see. You could say that, you know what I'm saying? But when he says, for I will have respect unto you, it's like, you know the scripture that says, like, don't be a respecter of persons. The Most High is saying, I'm gonna be biased for you. You know what I'm saying? Like for you, because he said it all through the scriptures. Am I right? Yeah. God. He's gonna have respect for us, as in we're better than everybody else. He's gonna show favor to us, right? And that's why he's gonna make us fruitful and multiply you. And then he says, and establish my covenant with you. He's literally saying, I'm going to be biased against everybody else in favor of you. You understand? You know what I mean? So respect of persons means what? Respect of persons means that I'm not supposed to be biased. I can't give you a judgment that's more favorable because you're wrong, or I can't, because I like you more, I'm gonna say no, you're innocent even though I know you're guilty. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is saying he's going to fight for us over all the other nations. You understand? But it is in accord with what you're saying. Once we have to hold up our end of the bargain. We have to be something to be respected. You understand? We have to keep his statutes and commandments on and so forth. So you definitely on this. You have something, Yanazar? No. No sweat. Go ahead, bro.
What's on Christ? Verse 12. Wahafahalakathia. Yahaya Yathia. Lakum. Allah Hayam. Wa'atham. Fahayawa. Lawa. La'aim. Verse 13. Salakia. Come on, 13. Come on up. There it is. Anya Yahweh. Alahayakum Ashar. Hawataza Athia. Athakam. Ma'arataza. Matazarayim. This is Egypt. Yeah, Matazarium. Yeah. I messed that up. Okay. Mahayath. Lahum. Abadium. Wa Ashabar. Matath. Ilakam. Wa Awalak. Afakam. Kwawa Mamaya Wath. Mama Yawath.
That's the last one he read.
Khan.
No, GP, pick it up. If you clip off a shot, Leviticus chapter 26 and verse
7.
Verse 7. Khan. And then we got one more after this.
The book of Leviticus.
What else?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. Verse 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Verse 9. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. Verse 10. And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new. Verse 11. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. Was that the last verse?
No, verse 12.
Oh, okay. Verse 12. And I will walk among you, and will be your God, and ye shall be my people. That was it right there?
No, verse 13.
Oh, okay. Verse 13. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you go upright.
Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying? So he's just telling us he established his covenant with us. You know what I'm saying? He loves us, and he's going to be a God to us. You know what I mean? And so, again, like I said, we got to keep about end of the bargain. So, Yanazar, you want to get the last set of Hebrew scriptures? So we're going to read 7 more. Right? And then we're going to, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like,
please,
these scriptures right here prove what the ISUPK be saying all along.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? The Most High chose Israel, man. We don't care about these other nations, man. We tired of trying to be with them. No more. We want to learn how to be with us. Accept ourselves and love ourselves. That's what it's all about. To hell with these other nations. The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 14. Wa'am la'ah fashama'aiwa la'yah wala'ah tha'aishawa hamatazawath Hamatazawath. Verse 15. Wa'am. Bakakwa. Thama asawa. Wa'am ath. Masha Pashia. Masha Pashia. Verse 15, second word, second line. Masha Pashia.
Judge, Shapat means the judgment.
Kahan. Thaga'al. Come. Labalaya. Aishawath ath cow. Matawathia. Lahap parakam ath. Bariathia. Verse 16. Ap. Anya. Aisha. Za'ath. Lakam. Wahap pakwada. Wahap pakwadashi. Dathia. Wahap pakwadathia. Aliakam. Bahala. Ath. Hashakapath. Wa'ath. Kadathath. Makalawath. Nayam. Wamad Dayabath. Napash. Wazara Itham. Larayak. Or Laura Yakwa. Zara Ikam. Wa Akalahawa. We're in 16. Last word on the fifth line.
Say it again.
La'akalawa. La'kalahawa. La'akalahawa.
Oh, I see.
Wa'akalahawa.
There's no wa. It's just wa'a kalawa.
Kalawa. Khan. Wa'akalawa.
Mm-hmm.
The water. Ayabayakam. Ayabyakam. Salakia. Ayabyakam. Okay. Verse 17. Wanathathia. Panya. Become. Wana. Napathum. Lapanya. Ayabayakam. Ayabyakam. I'm going to get it right out of one. Ayabyakam. Waradawa. Become. Shana ayakam. Wana sathum. Wa ayan. Radap. Or radapa. Athakam. Verse 18. Wa aid. Allah la'ah. Thasham ma'aiwa. Laya. Waya sapathia. Laya sarah. Athakam. Shabai. Al. Tha'ai. Nasalakia. Kata. Athiakam. I like that word. Verse 19. Washa Barathia Ath Ga'awun, Isaacum, Wanathia, Ath, Shemaiah Kum, Kabarazol, Kabarazol, Kabarazol.
is connected.
Oh, the word is Kabar.
No, Barzal.
Okay, okay.
It means iron.
Oh, Khan out of one Khan.
There's a brother in Philly whose name is Barzal. I think it's Barzal Rakah or iron spirit. So the root word is Barzal. The Ka at the beginning is a prefix.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
Khan out of one
Ka
Khan.
Barzal. Go ahead.
Kabarazol, Wa'ath, Aratazakum, Kanyakasha.
Verse 20 is the last one.
Verse 20. Wathum, Larayak, Kakakum, Wala'ah, Thun, Aratazakum, Ath, Yabawala, Wa'aitaza, Ha'arataza, La'ah, Yathun, Pariyawa.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments.
Salakia, read that again.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 15. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhorred my judgments.
There's that word abhor, right? Go ahead.
So that ye will not do all my commandments.
No, does it say, so if your soul abhor my judgments so that you will not want to do my commandments?
So that ye will not do all my commandments.
So if you abhor his judgments, what happens? You don't do his commandments. I bring that up to say because fake Israelites love to use that scripture that says abhor an Edomite. Abhor is not a feeling. It's a work word. It is not something you think in your stupid skull. It is something you do. Abhorring an Edomite would be the equivalent of going out there and just finding an Edomite house and just hanging everybody in the crib. Just throwing them all on a noose and hanging them all. Just killing a bunch of Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Walking down the block, just smacking fire out of Edomites. That's abhorring an Edomite. That's what you cannot do. Okay? To abhor something is to perform an action negatively against it. So when you abhor the Most High's judgments, you don't do them. You know what I'm saying? You refrain from performing the action you're supposed to perform. Just wanted to point that out because it said the word abhor. But go ahead, brother.
But that ye break my covenant. Verse 16. I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning egg.
Yes,
That right there, what is it? The burning egg.
the burning egg. Let's see. It's a fever. It says an inflammation, i.e., febrile disease, burning ache, or fever. Yeah, it's some kind of horrible sickness that nobody wants. You know what I'm saying? You got something, Yanzor?
Yeah, I just want to emphasize. I will appoint over you terror and consumption because that's what we're under right now. We're terrorized. They kill our children. They kill us in the street, and we're being consumed, literally consumed by these other nations. Financially, spiritually, we're being consumed. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, burning egg just means like a horrible fever. You know what I'm saying? Like burning up to the point where you dying. I had one of those when I was a kid at one point. I got sick with something when I was like 10. Everybody thought I was going to die. But it started with a really bad fever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the burning egg is. But go ahead, GP.
That shall consume their eyes and cause sorrow of heart and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
What does that mean? You shall sow your seed in vain, so because your enemies shall eat it. Please, Jonathan.
That's, to me, that's like a two-pronged
Okay.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Because your seed could be your produce,
Mm-hmm.
your vegetables, and it also could be your children.
Right. Most High in
Which
Christ.
we see happening all the time.
Exactly.
You know, they arrested this kid, as Officer Thabawan brought out yesterday. They arrested a kid, I don't know where it was. I think it was in North Carolina, for picking a flower, man. It took him to jail. He had to get a lawyer for picking a flower.
Right. So you're right. That's exactly what it means. It's two parts. Your seed is your works. Your seed is your farming. It's your whatever you produce, which also is your children. But you're gonna do it and it won't even matter, right? Because your enemies shall eat it. Your enemies are gonna destroy your crops. They're gonna make the money off of everything you do. They're gonna take your kids from you. That happened in slavery, and this happening today. You know what I'm saying? Our women, our sisters out here, our Black Hispanic women, we getting pregnant or whatever, and then with the white man is teaching our women that they should have abortions. They should kill their babies. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, they end up in the system somehow. You know what I mean? We have no dominion over our own children. Right? So read on, brother.
Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies, that they hate you that they that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
Who else could this be talking about? Who else? Who else is going through this to this day? No one. Read on, brother.
Verse 18. And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
Please, brother.
We went into captivity 7 times. 7 punishments, man. 7 captivity.
Damn
Word
right.
of the Most High is the truth. Man.
That's right.
Cannot deny it.
Damn right. Read on, brother.
Verse 19. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass.
Go ahead. You about to say something? Oh, Salaki. Yeah, brother. That one I need. It's a metaphor, but I would need Cap to kind of. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seems like it just means you're gonna be. It's just another metaphor for bondage. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, like you said, between a rock and a hard place. Like everything around you is iron and brass. Everything around you is hard and cold, and you know what I'm saying? Like that. You won't have any. It won't be the soft, cloudy heavens and the earth that brings forth. You know what I'm saying? Produce and things like that. Your heaven's gonna be iron. Your earth is gonna be brass. But I want to get a better understanding of it. But that's what it sounds like to me. But we'll get that shortly, so that way you can break it down perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, brother. The water for that question, sis.
Verse 20. And your strength shall be spit in vain. Shall be spent in vain. For your land shall not yield her increase. Neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits.
No, all of these is just, some of this is literal, some of it is metaphor, just meaning you're going to be in a bad way. Like nothing is going to, isn't that how Black people talk? It seems like we talk about, like, no matter what we do, it seemed like nothing worked. We did everything. We didn't try to be Muslims. We had Black Panthers. We tried to do economics. We tried to, we had Black Wall Street. We had Rosewood. We had Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got free from slavery. We done did everything you can imagine, and it just seemed like nothing works. Why is that? Because what haven't we done? Please, sis. Give her a hand. That's the one thing we haven't tried. We haven't, as a nation, tried to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and follow the Most High. The one who told us this was going to happen. You look in that Quran, you're not going to find out one prophecy about what's going to happen to Black people. Not one. Please.
If I may, in our land, I could speak on it because our land was the Garden of Eden. It was a very fertile land. And when the Romans and the Greeks came in, that land almost was turned into a desert almost. And now it's starting to recover through the irrigation that they're doing and the water that they're stealing from the Syrians. But our land, which was the Garden of Eden, was in the midst of the Garden of Eden. If you look at the geography, was once a very plush and fertile place, which almost turned into a complete desert. So this is another prophecy that we see that has been fulfilled as pertaining to our land.
All right, so that was the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 20. Okay, so we're gonna start clipping up the Sabbath service right now. We've read through 7 sets of 7 verses. Are there any questions on what we've read so far, or anything anybody want to bring out other than what the questions we already have to ask Cap? No sweat. Okay, so Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 21 is where we'll be starting next week. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 21. All right, so Akim, y'all want to write it down on your phones now. You know, every Saturday we come up in here like, where we starting at? Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 21. All right, and so just up here, Imadium. Yanazar, if you could, with the horn. GP. Most High in Christ. Men of Israel, gird thyselves and prepare to salute the Torah. And now, everybody, Imajim, which means to stand. Wapanyak Wadum, which means turn and face the east. We're going to close out with the prayers. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The water out of one. Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Lathanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawum, Wasalakanawa, Kabawathwanawa, Kazalaknawa, Kabawathwanawa, Wala'a, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa Allah, Wa Hathra Parith, La Iwalumium, Amun.
In the English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
The prayer for the power, Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kashah. Nathanawa. Hakak. La Para'ah. Kalmakala. Wakalmadawa. Hakak. La Tahar. Hamatazarium. Hatazarium. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahaklium. Hamathium. Hakak. Arawakath. Arawath. Hatama'ala. Lagarashun. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Amun.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahushai.
please give us the power,
Please give us
the power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
all manner of
the
disease,
power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the
the
lepers,
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the
the
dead,
power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out
In the name of Yahweh
in
Shai,
the name of Yahushai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabia. Matazabaya. Matazabaya. The water. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranium. Ha Katazazoyum. Ha Koyayoyum. Wa Ha Aguathian. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. The water Amun.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angels,
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana,
Commanding General Yahana.
the generals,
The generals.
the captains,
The captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh
In
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Hahorium. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayim. Wa'arataza. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regolka. Al-Yanawum. Shamarka. Hannah. La'ah. Yanawum. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazolka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamum. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayallah. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal Rai. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Wabawa'atka. Mayatha. Wa'aid Iwalum.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills,
unto the hill,
from whence cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
he that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
Yeah, it's like the sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all
He shall
evil.
preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damiyaka. Al-Damiyaka. Al-Fakarash. Al-Fashakwat. Al. Kayahana. Awabyaka. Yahama. Yawun. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Irayamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Yaitazawa. Yaitazawa. Okay. Altazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magowa. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'Allah. Iwada. Kayawa. Now Aitazawa. Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Barayaf,
Baryat,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Aholwa,
Aholya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa Yashamai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa Abba,
Abba,
Wahagarium,
Wahagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa Ima one,
Waimawan,
Wa Imalak,
Waimalak,
Palashaf,
Palashah,
Am Yashabia,
Amishab,
Taza War,
Tazawar,
Gam Asher War,
Ashawar,
Nalawa, Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Sarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labani Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamajin,
Kamajin,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabin,
Banakol,
Manakal,
Koyashiwan,
Yashmin,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Daira,
Ayandara,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakazabak,
Wakaza Ba, Salakia,
Wakazabak,
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 Wakazdazol,
Katazol,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasaya Kamwa,
Kal Nasai Kamwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
no, Nasalakia, Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarashah,
Nairashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Aft, Na'awath,
Na'awat,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Sayakamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kwash,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Panyamawaka,
Faradapma,
Kaash,
no, Salakia, Ka'ash,
Kaash,
Thaba'ira Ya'ira,
Saba Ira Ira,
Wakalaba,
Wakalaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Aradapma,
Datma,
Basairika,
Sairika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapafka,
Wapafka,
Fabahalum,
Sabahalom,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyahum,
Panyahum,
Kwalawan,
Palawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Hawa,
Yabashwa,
Bashwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Wayabahawa,
Aija'id,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Waya the Iwa,
Wayada Iwa,
Kaya Atha,
Kaya Athar,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Hawa,
Labadka,
Badka,
Al Yawan,
Ayawan,
Al Kal Haratazar.
Al Kaharatiza. In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
hold not thy peace,
hold not thy peace,
and be not still.
and be not still.
For
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
make a
and
tumult,
they that hate thee
and they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy
and
people,
consulted
and
against
consulted against
thy hidden ones.
thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a
from
nation,
being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in
may
remembrance.
be no more in
For
remembrance.
they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one
They are
consent.
confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the
of
Ishmaelites
Moab,
and Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal
and Ammon,
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines, with the
Philistines,
inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre,
Assur
Assur
also is joined with
is
them.
joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of
They have
Lot.
hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the
as to
Midianites,
Sisera,
as sister
as
Sarah,
to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb,
like Oreb,
and like
and
Zeeb.
like Zeeb,
Yea,
yea,
all their princes,
all their
as
princes,
Zabah,
as Zabah,
and as Almunah,
and Alzamuna,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of
the
Yahweh
houses of Yahweh
in possession.
into possession.
Oh, my power,
Oh, my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like the wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame
and as the flame
set at the mountains on
set the
fire.
mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with
them
thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with
Fill
shame,
their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh, Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
thou,
whose name alone
is
is Yahweh,
Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Sir? You sisters, Yashab, be seated. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Amani Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem HaShai B'Rakatah, Yajim Matar, Sar, Sister Amajim Slaki. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Barak, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Shai. Yajim Matar, class